And first at 6, some Iowa homeschool parents are asking state lawmakers to give them more flexibility over their children's education.
But others worry the changes they're asking for could come with unintended consequences that could put other kids in danger.
The wide-ranging bill passed through an Iowa House subcommittee today. KCCI chief political reporter Amanda Rooker shows us what it could change. Amanda.
Well, Stacey and Ben, there was a lot of debate over this bill today. The bill would make a lot of changes around requirements for homeschool programs in Iowa, changes to reporting certain health records, to which instructors you can pay, and what content some homeschool students are learning.
Some homeschool parents are praising the long list of changes House File 88 would bring. It would get rid of requirements to provide a homeschool child's vaccination records or blood tests for lead exposure to the local school district. And it would allow some homeschool programs to not teach science or social studies until middle school.
Today, let's seize the opportunity to honor the dedication of Iowa's parents, affirm their right and duty to educate their children as they see fit, and strengthen the foundation of faith and family in our state.
The bill would also remove some requirements for independent private instruction. That's a homeschool option that is not accredited and is exempt from most state education standards. Right now, those instructors can't charge tuition or fees or teach more than 4 unrelated students. The bill would get rid of those rules.
I think this opens up a great option for parents to say, hey, I have a second grader, I have a third grader. What if I brought in a couple more? I keep teaching the same content, but I'm able to receive compensation for my services and also have revenue streams that allow me to operate out of my convictions in my home.
But some have concerns.
I think there's a point where it's no longer homeschool. It becomes a third category of unregulated or less regulated private school.
Including Margaret Buckton, who represents the Rural School Advocates of Iowa.
When you have one adult in charge of multiple children unrelated, you no longer have that natural relationship between parent and child. And that's when the state has an interest of at least having some regulation. That might be a background check or a requirement for some kind of training.
While some supporters like homeschool mom Mandy Shivers praise the bill for shifting oversight to parents,
I just want to assure you as a parent that no one cares about my children's safety, education, and well-being more than I do.
Others say the bill could come with unintended consequences.
The right to homeschool doesn't mean the right to bigger tax credits or a reversal on public health or to charge tuition to other families without having to prove that you're qualified in every single subject to teach those unrelated children.
And there are a lot of pieces to this bill. So apart from homeschooling, it would also prevent Iowa teachers from using gender-neutral language when teaching languages like Spanish that have a grammatical gender system. And the bill would double an Iowa tax credit that allows Iowans to get more money to pay for their child's tuition and textbooks. Now, 2 Republicans advanced this bill today. 1 Democrat was against it, but it still has a long way to go at the State House. We'll continue tracking its progress. Stacey?
We sure will. Amanda, thank you.